Hello, everyone. My name is Carla Woods. Today, I'll be discussing the initiatives and referendums in Arizona, which are two key tools of different democracy. These processes allow Arizona citizens to participate directly in lawmaking rather than relying only on one selected official. In this video, I will define initiative and referendums, explain how they are created, compared, and contrast them, discuss the pros and the cons of each, and explain how they support direct democracy as outlined in the Arizona Constitution. First, let's start with the definitions. An initiative is a process that allows citizens to propose a new law or constitutional amendment. If enough voter signatures are collected, the proposal is placed directly on the ballot for voters to approve and or reject. A referendum, on the other hand, allows voters to to approve or reject the law that has already been passed by the Arizona legislature. Instead of lawmakers having a final say, the decision is placed in the hands of the voters. In short, initiatives create laws while referendums review laws. So I'm going to talk about next how initiatives and referendums are created. Now let's look at how each process work, I'm sorry. Initiative. To create an initiative in Arizona, a citizen or group drafts a proposed law or constitutional amendment. The proposal is filed with the Arizona Secretary of State. Supporters must collect and require a number of valid voter signatures. For statutory initiatives, signatures must equal 10% of vote cast in the last election. For the constitutional amendments, 15% is required. If enough valid signatures are collected, the initiative is placed on the ballot. Voters that decide whether to approve or reject it during the election. Referendums. For a referendum, you just have to the Arizona legislature, they passed the law. The citizens approve the law, file of the referendum petition. They must collect signatures equal to 5% of the voters cast in the last election. If successful, the law is suspended and placed on the ballot. Voters then vote to either uphold or reject the law. So we're going to talk about compare and contrast of both of these laws. Initiatives and referendums, they are similar because they allow citizens to vote directly on the laws, require signature collection, appear on the election ballot, and they strengthen voters' participation. However, they differ in important ways too. Initiatives begin with a citizen propose new laws, and referendums respond to laws already passed by the legislature. Legislator can create, initiatives can create long-term policy changes, while referendum all act as a check on the legislative power. Initiative requires more signatures than referendum. Together, they balance citizen power with representation government. Here go the pros and cons of both of these. The pros of an initiative is give citizens a direct voice in lawmaking, allow voters to address issues lawmakers may ignore, encourage civic engagement and political participation. The cons of initiative is can be expensive due to the campaign and signature collection. Voters may lack detailed knowledge about complex issues. Well-funded groups can influence outcomes. The pros of this is act as a safeguard against unpopular or rushed legislation, hold elected officials accountable, increase transparency in government. The cons of a referendum is can delay lawmakers that address urgent issues, require signature time and resources. Voters turnout may be low, affecting litigations. Direct democracy of Arizona Constitution. Initiative and referendums strongly support direct democracy, which a foundational principle of the Arizona Constitution. Arizona was one of the first states to embrace direct democracy when it became a state in the 1912. The Constitution explicitly reserved legislation power not only for elected officials but also for the people by allowing citizens to propose, approve, or reject laws. Initiatives and referendum ensure that political power of citizens increase accountability and reflect the will of the people rather than only the government. So, in conclusion, initiatives and referendums play a vital role in Arizona's democratic system. Initiatives allow citizens to propose laws, which referendum gives voters the power to review legislative decisions. Although each has advantages and disadvantages, both strengthen democracy participation and ensure that citizens have a direct role in shaping the policy. Together, they reflect Arizona's commitments to direct democracy as outlined in its constitution. Thank you for watching.